Well, at the turn of the century, in 1900, not 2000, Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, decided he wanted to do libraries for the country. And so at that time, he had already done 5 libraries in Texas. And there was a federation of women's clubs, and the ladies decided they wanted a Carnegie library. So they wrote Mr. Carnegie, and he agreed to give $15,000 to the city of Tyler to build the library. But the city had to promise that they would give $1,500 every year to support the library. So it was agreed upon. They bought this lot where we are now, and the library opened its doors in 1904. And I'd love to read a quote to you that the mayor said when he accepted the library. He said, "All the success of this library has been due to the efforts of the noble women of our city. And I say furthermore that future generations will rise up and call you blessed for your noble efforts." Mayor John Bonner. The steps that are here are still here. They're 114 years old. And if you look very closely, you can see how worn they are from people coming in and out over this 114 years. We are sitting in the adult reading room of the old library. It has magazines, newspapers, and current books. There's a picture of the fireplace here in this adult reading room. It's very changed today, but this was what the original fireplace looked like. Then we have a picture of the reference room, which is across the hall. This is a picture of the reference room across the hall. So then the library, Tyler grew, and in 1934, the library had pretty much outgrown the city. And so it was during the Great Depression, and President Roosevelt had started many projects to help people to have jobs, and one of them was called the Public Works Administration. So the city of Tyler raised $19,000, and then the project gave them $7,000. So they had about $25,000 to put a new addition on. And the people that built it were part of this Public Works Administration. And then the room we're sitting in, which was the adult reading room, was done by the same project. And it pictures all the agriculture and oil and roses and all the things that were going on in Tyler at that time. And I have a picture here of the library being constructed. They tried very, very hard to keep it the same as the old library. Out on the south side of the library, this is the original part, this is the new part. The brick is slightly different, and they put a drain pipe right down the middle so that you maybe couldn't see the difference. And that was the last addition made to the Tyler Library, and that was in 1934. I started working here in I think it was 1974, and with the help of the Daughters of the American Revolution, which is a genealogical society, the women trace their ancestors back to soldiers that fought in the Revolutionary War, and with their help, we started the local history and genealogy section of the library, and I was there until 1980 when they moved this building to the new building in 1980. And this then became the archives for the Smith County Historical Society. These women, back in the early 1900s, the women's clubs, there were literary clubs, and they wanted a library for the people to come and get educated. And they had them in several different places. One was in a lawyer's office, one was in the firehouse, and finally, as I said earlier, they got a hold of Mr. Carnegie. I don't know what the future for libraries are, but before the advent of television and the internet and all of that, books were the only way people could get educated, and all people couldn't buy books. So this was mainly for people who could not afford books.